What is good, y'all? We have another video. We are back. Thank the Lord. But I had to take a little bit of a break. You know, it's hard looking for stuff and getting the brain power together just to like shoot a video sometimes. And been doing a lot of stuff on the weekends and my free days. So it's harder to get videos in when I'm really busy, but trying to really get them in and, you know, make sure I'm staying consistent with this and keep this ball rolling. But I am back. Missed y'all, man. Appreciate all of y'all. I'd love to tell y'all that every single time. I would literally not be doing this if I didn't have y'all, you know, watching and supporting my videos. But boys, we are back. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but I went to go see this movie called Obsession. It is a amazing movie, amazing. And I've been seeing a lot of debates and stuff like on the internet, like about certain things. And I'm gonna answer some of those questions, like in my personal opinion, you know, how I feel about them and what I think. You know, if y'all agree or disagree, I would love to know in the comments. But without further ado, that's pretty much gonna be the video. New type of video, but wanna see how it is, you know. Hopefully y'all like it. And like I said, I really appreciate y'all. But I won't hold y'all too long. Let's get to it. So one of the bigger questions that I've seen asked was this actually love or obsession from Bear's standpoint? And if I'm not mistaken, give me 1 second, hold on. Okay, so yes, there are two main characters that the movie really follows. Also, there might be some spoilers in here, so if y'all don't want to see the spoilers, if you haven't seen it, definitely click off of this video, but I would appreciate it if you stayed. But there are two main characters in this movie. It is Bear and Nikki. And, you know, basically in the movie, Bear breaks this one wish willow, and basically it gets one wish. And he wished for Nikki to pretty much love him or, you know, be obsessed with him or something like that. But I think it was like something about loving him or whatever it might have been. And it turned out for the worse. The thing is, I don't believe it was love on Nikki's part. She was kind of forced into it, and she didn't even like Bear like in that way. So it's hard for me. Oh, excuse me. It's hard for me to believe that she loved him like in that way. I don't think she did. I don't think she did at all. I don't really think she even liked the man, but that's not here or there. On Bear's part though, I think he was absolutely obsessed with her. I don't even think he loved her, because to wish for something like that, even if he didn't think it was going to come true, just shows the amount of obsession that he has for that person, which was Nikki. I absolutely hated that for her, and I also hated it for him, but he's also like, you know, a piece of shit in this movie, in my personal opinion. Another frequently asked question that I've seen on multiple occasions was, what point would, you know, a lot of y'all had like walked away? Like, at what point would y'all had just been done with the situation altogether, even if you were Bear? Like, what would you have done? And I would say there's a scene specifically, there's a couple, but there's one scene specifically where she cooked his cat. Like, she legitimately cooked his cat and gave it to him for lunch. At that very point, I would have been done. But if it was not that point, and if there was any other point at all, they were in a restaurant. And Bear had just found out that she lied about her father being sick. And there was nothing wrong with her father. He found this out, and basically, he confronted her about it. When he confronts her about it, she just starts going like, no.
No, no, no.
What?
No, don't do that! I thought we were having a nice day!
We are.
No. And bro, it was so crazy. She was either trying to get him locked up or something. I don't even know, but I know at that point, for me personally, I would have dipped, bro. Like that and the cat situation, that would have been enough for me. Serving me my cat is crazy. But like lying about your father being sick, and then making it seem like I'm like an aggressor in a situation. Nah, bro, I gotta get out of there. I would have to. There'd be no other way for me to like stay. Um, who was the actual problem is another question I frequently see. And there's a lot of people that are kind of split on it. Some of them feel like it was Nikki. Some of them feel like it was Bear. I don't see how you can see it any other way. It's clearly Bear. Nikki's not the problem here. She might have had problems as a person, but she had no choice in what was going on between her and Bear at that point. She was under like some type of witchcraft. I mean, that's not her fault. All the shit that she did, that's his fault. Like, that's honestly his fault. I don't see how you can see it any other way. I could see people being an empath for Bear because like all the stuff that he went through, but he was horrible throughout the whole movie. He put her under a spell essentially, then proceeded to go and cheat on her with his ex, got his ex killed, got his best friend killed, and then at the very end also resulted in helped with his own death. I mean, I just don't see how you could look at it any other way. It was clearly that man's fault. Everything, like literally everything. He could have just accepted that she did not want him and moved on and been fine. And everyone else probably been fine as well. But he's selfish. I mean, that's how I feel about him. The biggest red flag in this entire movie, for me personally, is that all this stuff was going on, and I don't think anyone really, realistically speaking, tried to help anybody really. Like, there were some things, but it was more or less like, keep that weird ass chick over there, all right, and don't bring her around us. She weird. And mind you, his best friend had literally had sex with her. He knew that she was acting different. And nothing, like, he didn't think anything weird, nothing. I'm like, bro, that's your best friend. You don't think that you should know these things? Like, or say something? Like, I don't know. I think it was just too much going on. Too much going on for no one to help or say something. I would call the cops, personally. I don't care. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not dealing with no shit like that in my neighborhood. No. Something that I've always wondered about a lot of movies like this is like, what frustrated me the most? That's not really a question that I see, but I also see people just saying like something frustrated them, like in the comments. I will be entirely honest. The most frustrating point for me in this movie was Bear's best friend. This man tells him everything that happens with the One Wish Willow, tells him everything. And that, you know, this is a one-time thing, you cannot change it after that. This man proceeds to wish for $1 billion or something.
Whoa, dude, stop. Okay, I need you to say, I wish my friend Barry. I wish for $1 billion.
Like that, when his friend just told him, bro, I'm going to die if I don't fix this. She's going to die if I don't fix this. We need your help. And he proceeds to go and wish for $1 billion or $1 million, and then proceeds to get his head blown the hell off. Anyway. No. I couldn't. Nah. I don't know. Maybe I got too much faith in my best friends, but if I say something like that to my friends and they do that, I'm slapping them out right there. I mean, right where they stand. It's over with. Like, you done did me dirty, bro. I needed you for one thing only, and you couldn't even do that. Nah, it's over with. Another thing that I see frequently is, do people think this could happen in real life? Absolutely. I don't know what other people be, having going on. I be seeing people that be witches and doing blood magic and all types of other stuff. I ain't got time for none of that. You put somebody under a spell, you don't know what can happen. You don't know how that can end. A lot of them end bad. That's why I'm like, I personally don't like dealing with people like that. I don't like people that play with crystals and nope. Go that way. Do what you want away from me. You know what I'm saying? Free, whatever. You can do whatever it is you please away from me. I don't want to get involved with none of that. I prefer to be away from that type of stuff. I don't know. Some people are cool with it. I'm just, I'm very superstitious. I don't like that. And I feel like, yes, that can be something that happens in real life 110%. And you got to watch out for it because that shit is dangerous. It is not a game, y'all. y'all better watch out, man. You better watch out. Watch the people that's around you now. The wildest scene in this movie, a lot of people have debated that. I think there's two. There's a scene where they're at a party, and basically it was one of those like adult game things where you roll the dice or whatever, and it says kiss the person that's on the left of you or something like that. And basically it was his ex-girlfriend, and she was sitting right beside Bear. This girl proceeds to get her out of her chair, move her chair, and sit that joint down. But then she goes on this long, long rant, like this poem that sounds kind of demonic, to be honest with you. And man, it was just weird. That was one. But the other scene was, bro, Bear went to work at some point. He turns around and he looks at the door, and it's like duct taped shut, like so he couldn't leave. He opens it. He comes back home like 8 hours later, whenever he ended his shift or whatever. She had been standing in the spot that he left her in, shitting and pissing and all types of stuff all over herself. That shit right there, personally, she would have had to get up out of my house. I don't know what I would have to do, but I would do something. I ain't gonna lie. I would call the cops. I'd do something. I would do something. Hell no, man. That was another thing. I don't know why he just didn't call the police. Could the police not help? I don't know. But I know one thing for sure. She would have been going to jail. Going to prison. No, for real. She needed help. Like, she needed more than a therapist. Honestly, she just needed to kill Bear, unfortunately. But, hey. Like, sometimes it's what you gotta do. I would say the biggest lesson from this movie, though, that I saw personally would be, if you know that something's not for you, don't force it. If you know that someone doesn't like you, love you, see you the same, don't force it. It's no point in forcing it. At the end of the day, someone's gonna love you for who you are, right? Somebody in the world is gonna appreciate you for just being you. You're not gonna have to force them into anything, because that leads to horrible situations. So if I've learned anything from this movie, do not force it. Do not try to make something, be existent when it's not there. Like, you can manifest and dream things, but don't do that with people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to manifest people into your life in a way. You might be forcing something that ain't meant to be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And if it's not, it won't. That's really how I feel about that. But overall, for this movie, I think it's 9.5. Only because of this one thing, I wouldn't say a 10 out of 10. They left on the cliffhanger. And there's supposed to be another one. And I really hope, it's good. Like, I really do. Because this was, like, great. And if they had ended it a different way, I'd have been, like, okay with that. But the fact that they brought it back for another one kind of just leaves that room in my heart to be like, oh, man, like, why'd you do this to me? It's kind of like if you like Avatar, and then they wait 10 years to drop another one, and then, another 4 to drop another one. It's like, fuck. Or if you're like an anime fan, you definitely get it. Y'all should watch anime. Just saying. Jujutsu Kaisen is like that. But in the comments, man, please tell me, do y'all think this was love or obsession? How do y'all feel like y'all would have handled it? What point would y'all have just left, though? Like, honestly, when would y'all have just left this whole situation alone? But that's the end of my video. I really appreciate y'all for rocking with me, sticking with me, watching through my whole video and everything. And I love y'all just like we family. And if y'all have feelings, emotions, or whatever it might be, put them in the comments. Also, shout out Men's Mental Health Month. That is amazing. If you feeling anything, if you need to talk to anybody, talk to somebody. You're not alone out here, man. We're a little bit late on this video, but just know, y'all, mental health matters. Get the help that you need. Talk to the people that you need, and people are willing to listen to you. Hell, get in the comment section. I'm willing to listen to you. I appreciate y'all. I really love y'all, and we're gonna get to this next video. See y'all.